I'm so nervous. Okay. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Y'all already know what video this is. This is my 17 and pregnant story time. So yeah, I don't really know how to start the video, so I guess I'll just jump right in. And I have my phone here because I took some notes, but not too many notes because I do want this to be as raw and as like natural as possible. And if I keep looking behind me, it's because my mirror is right there and I keep trying to look at what I look like. Just to like mention some important dates. But I didn't take too many notes or anything. Like I didn't script anything because I want this to be as natural, you know, as possible. So yeah, I guess I'll just start with the story. Where do I start? This is so like awkward because I don't know where to start. Actually, before I start, I do want to mention, well, first of all, I'm not naked. I have a shirt on. I look naked from this angle. Okay. I do want to mention that I still am pregnant. So yeah, baby's not here yet, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Yeah. So where do I start? So I don't know. I guess I'll just start from the beginning. So let's go back October 2019, like the second week of October. You know, me and who was my boyfriend, you know, things happen. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Things happen. At the time, I wasn't on birth control because I just never wanted to go on birth control. I don't know why. I know what y'all are thinking, like, are you dumb? Because I know damn well how these things work. But yeah, I wasn't being very responsible. That's the word. I wasn't being very responsible. We got to business. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, moving on. A couple weeks passed and I started noticing that my body was being really weird. And I never, like I said before, I never was on birth control, so like I never kept track of my period or anything. It just came when it came. And so yeah, and my period was always regular, so like I never had a problem with my period coming late or anything like that. And if it was late, it'd only be like a day or two late. It was never anything crazy. And like I said before, this was my first time, so like, you know, what are the odds? Like obviously, like, you know, no one thinks that. So yeah, I started noticing that my body was weird. I can't really describe how. I just like felt like something was going on, and obviously I didn't know what it was yet. But yeah, I just felt really weird. It's like I had a weird intuition, if that makes sense. Like something just dawned upon me and I started really noticing that my body was weird. And then, like I said before, also, like I had never tracked my period. So I started to, you know, develop some ideas of what might be going on. And I like started to think of when my last period was, and I really honestly had no idea because I never was one to like track my period or anything, just because like it was always regular for the most part. So like, you know, and I was never on birth control, so like my period never did anything weird. So I was just like, you know, like when was the last time I had my period? Like, could I maybe be pregnant? Like I really just didn't know what was going on. But so yeah, so I honestly just pushed it to the side for like 2.5 weeks. I was just like, you know what, I feel weird, but I think I'm fine. And during those 2 weeks, I started going to the gym with my friend. And I remember I would tell her, like, you know, like something's weird. Like I feel weird and whatever. And she just was like, you know, like you're fine. Like don't worry, like you're fine, whatever. And I never really thought to take a pregnancy test. I never thought to take a pregnancy test just because I was almost sure that like it wasn't that I was just bugging, you know. I don't know, but yeah, whatever. So 2.5 weeks passed, and conveniently, so my school, before I get into that, let me mention my school has this program. I think it's like a connection with the hospital in our school, but for teens. So like they provide a bunch of I don't know how to explain it. Like basically it's just like a little mini hospital in our school, and they provide us with free services. So like free birth control, free condoms, the list goes on. So yeah, they did all that stuff there for free and anonymously, so like your parents didn't have to know. Conveniently, I had an appointment November 1st, that was the day. Yeah, just keep in mind. So yeah, conveniently November 1st, I had an appointment. And by the way, this place is called Teen Connection in our school. So yeah, I had an appointment with Teen Connection, and it was just like a normal appointment. It was for like vaccines, because at the time I was in this dental program at my school, and in order to go out and do dental things with the class, you had to have all your vaccines checked, you know, all up to date and all that stuff. So I had an appointment that I made previously to get my vaccines. So yeah, November 1st, so Friday, I remember. I just went into the doctor's office for my regular appointment, sat down, waited, everything was normal. Then when I had went in to like talk with the doctor before I got my vaccines and everything, they always ask you a couple of questions before they do whatever it is you're there to do. So, and the questions are always very like, you know, like the normal questions they ask. So yeah, she had asked me like, are you sexually active, this and that. And that's when I brought up the fact that I've been feeling weird. So I was just like, hey, you know, I've been feeling weird. I really don't think I'm pregnant though, but I've been feeling weird and I don't know what to do, whatever. So she was like, oh, okay, well, while you're here, do you just want to take a pregnancy test while you're here? And I was like, yeah, like I'll do it. And obviously I really didn't think that I was pregnant. So like at this moment, I was super chill. I wasn't really worried, but there was like a little bit, like a little part of me that was like, oh shit, like what are you gonna do if you are? So whatever. So I just sat in the waiting room while I took the pregnancy test. I peed in a little cup, and then I sat in the waiting room for like 20 minutes waiting for like my vaccines and all that to get ready. And I had peed in the cup, so I was just waiting for everything. And so yeah, then I'm waiting in the waiting room, and then this other woman comes out, this other doctor from like another part. Like she was doing, like she wasn't the doctor who like does tests on you or anything. She was like a teen, I don't know how to explain it. She was just a different doctor. So she called me into this room and she sat me down, and she was just like, well, you know, before I give you your results, I just want to let you know that you have options, and like whatever you end up deciding to do, we're here to support you. You know, we have a lot of great people on our team that can help you, this and that, whatever. And I was like, okay. And at this point, I'm getting really worried because I'm like, why is she talking to me like this? Like, shit, like, am I pregnant? And yeah, she was just telling me a bunch of information. I asked her because I was getting really worked up because she was just feeding me this information, and I just wanted to know if I was pregnant or not. So I just kept asking her. I was like, do you have the results or not? Because I'm getting really nervous. She was like, no, I actually don't know, so I'm gonna look right now. So she just clicked on a little file, whatever, on her computer, because the results came back, and she just casually says it. She goes, yeah, so you're pregnant. And in that moment, I just start crying and crying and crying and crying and crying, and the tears don't stop. Like, I was literally sitting there crying for a good 10 minutes with this woman, and she's trying to calm me down, and I'm just crying. And I don't really know how to describe it. It was like, I wasn't sad. I was more of just confused and like worried of like, I was just, you know, I was just really emotional because I didn't know what to do, and this was my first time ever being put in this situation, so I was really lost. And yeah, you know, it was just an emotional time, and I think it is for anybody who finds out they're pregnant. It's just really emotional finding out, if it's sad or, you know, happy. It's just emotional in itself. Like, overall, it's just really emotional. So yeah, I was just crying and crying, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to tell. I didn't know who to call. So I was just sitting there with this woman crying, and poor her, she was just trying to calm me down. So yeah, as I was saying, the first person that I ended up calling was my friend, and I'm not gonna say any names in this just for like privacy purposes, but yeah, I ended up calling one of my friends. She came down because the lady that was in the room with me, she, like, I was crying like desperately, so she was just like, hey, like, do you want to call a friend down to calm you down? this and that, maybe that would be helpful. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna call my friend. So I just texted her and I was like, hey, can you come down to Teen Connection, the place where I was at? And I was like, but come quick, like it's an emergency. So she came down, and when she found out, when I told her, well, she came to the room and I was just crying. So when I had told her, she started crying with me. So now it's 2 people in a room crying. And yeah, we were both really like surprised and shocked and just really emotional. And yeah, so that day I full on decided that I wanted an abortion. Actually, the first thing that I said when I had stopped crying to the woman was, how do I fix this? Like, how do I undo this? That's like the wrong word to say, but like, how do I undo this basically is what I told her. I was like, you know, like, I can't do this right now. Like, I'm not ready. I don't know if I'm going to have the support that I need. You know, I was just in this predicament where I was very lost and like confused. Emotional is the word. I keep saying it, but like it's really the perfect word to describe everything. Just really emotional. So yeah, that day I had made up my mind that I was going to get an abortion. And she works with the school and she's connected to like those types of things. So like she automatically knew what she needed to do and how she could help me with the decision that I had made. So literally that day, I went in there at 9 a.m. and I didn't leave till like 1 p.m. because I was just in there the whole day crying. But yeah, so she made some calls, called up some people. I don't know, you know, she called up some people to get everything set up for me. And at the time, I was 17, I was underage. So it was this whole process that I had to go through to get an abortion. So she had to call some people and whatever, and it was just this whole big thing that I had to do. Honestly, it wasn't this whole big thing. It wasn't complicated at all, actually. It was just like a process in itself. So yeah, I had made up my mind that day, Friday, November 1st, 2019. I had made up my mind officially. And now that I look back at it, my mind was made up so quick, I think, just because I was really scared that I wasn't going to be able to deal with this on my own. And you know, it's just really scary being put in that position. Like, I was still in school, I didn't have a job. So I was basically just like, yeah, I can't do this, like there's no way. So yeah, I ended up telling my 2 other close friends because I just was really emotional that day. There was no way to hide it, honestly. I was just really upset and I just wanted to get out of school that day. So I had told my other 2 friends, again, I'm not going to say the names for privacy purposes. I told my 2 other friends and we ended up skipping school and just hanging out the whole day because I was just a mess and I just really needed that support that day. Shout out to them, they know who they are. They completely like held it down that day. But yeah, anyways, so we just ended up skipping school and I was just crying the whole day because now that, like, I don't know how to explain it, but like I had made up my mind that I wanted an abortion. It was scheduled and everything. By the end of that day, before I skipped school, when I had left the doctor's office, she had made the appointments for me and everything. So like the abortion like appointment and everything was set. Like it was done, ready to go. You know, she explained everything to me from step A to B, A to Z, I mean. Like she just explained everything to me. So like it was literally set in stone that I was gonna get an abortion. And I thought I was happy with my decision, but I really wasn't. And I know that now because the whole day I was literally depressed and scared and just really emotional and really upset. It was like one of the darkest times of my life, actually. Like that day, I'll just never forget what I felt and how heavy my chest felt. It was just like, it was a really emotional day. But yeah, so I was with my friends and I was just crying the whole day. Their company really helped me, like, a lot. Like, just having them around made me feel so much better. But still, you know, I felt really upset and, like, sad. And now that I look back at it, I know that I was upset and sad because it's really not the choice that I wanted. or like wanted to go through. I knew in me that I didn't want to go through with an abortion. So yeah. So that whole day I was just with my friends, and that night there was my other friend was throwing this party. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get ready, I'm gonna go to this party, because that's gonna force me to like get it together or whatever. That was like what I thought. And so yeah, I ended up just forcing myself to stop crying. I did my makeup, I put on a cute outfit, and I went to the party. And it actually did make me feel better, just being around other people. Just made me forget about my day a little bit, you know? Like, it just made me, it was like an escape, just being around my friends and like having a good time, whatever. So yeah. So the next day, Saturday, November 2nd, 2019, that morning I had SATs. So yeah, I did have SATs that next morning. And that morning I got to SATs and I was feeling so sick. So I had to keep going to the bathroom to throw up. And I was like today's just not the day. Like, I cannot be here. And obviously at the time I didn't know that it was morning sickness. By the way, when I found out I was pregnant, like, I know nothing about pregnancy. I really haven't been around any pregnant people around my life. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know the first thing about pregnancy at all, really. I was just sick, and I ended up having to leave and postpone my SATs, which I didn't even end up doing again. But yeah, and it was because of my morning sickness. And that day, it was like something was just telling me that I had to tell my mom. So yeah, that day I came home right from SATs, and the night before I had slept at my friend's house where the party was thrown at. So I came home, and then my mom comes home from work, and she's like, she came home angry, and like we're just arguing about something that I had gotten in trouble for earlier in the week. And then I just started breaking down, and it kind of caught her by surprise, because she was like, you know, like, what's going on? Like, why are you so upset? This and that. And something was telling me that I had to tell her, and I really wanted to, just because I felt so lonely. And honestly, when something like this happens, the first person that the first person that I really wanted to go to was my mom, but I was just really scared because I didn't know what reaction to expect out of her. But yeah, I just started breaking down, and then I ended up telling her. And before I told her, I was just like really scared, so I was like, please don't kick me out. You know, I was just saying a bunch of stuff because I was just so scared to say it. And my mom was just like, I'll never kick you out. Like, what's going on? Just tell me what's going on so I can help you, this and that. So I went from her like yelling at me, to her being like really like, you know, just having a really heartfelt, a heart to heart conversation. And then yeah, I just blurted out, and I ended up telling her, I was like, I'm pregnant. And my mom's first reaction was, she was happy. Like, she was so excited, and I was so shocked and so confused as to why she was happy. I don't know why I had this like, I thought in my head that my family was just gonna hate me and not speak to me. I don't know, it was really scary. But yeah, she was excited and happy. That was literally her first reaction. She was excited and happy. And then she just asked me, like, the father, all that stuff. And I was like, yes. And my mom is actually close with the dad's family, so like it just made everything so much easier. So yeah, she just ended up being really happy for me, and she was just hugging me and stuff, and she was telling me like, I'm here for you. I support you. You can do this. Like, I'm gonna help you through everything. I'm gonna be here every step of the way. And that honestly lifted such a big weight off my shoulders. I can't even explain to you. Like, everything I had felt the day before just completely, it was like, I don't know. She just like lifted a big weight off my shoulders, and I was like, okay, wow, like that felt good. Then after, I ended up telling, the rest of the family, and everyone was excited. Literally everyone. My brother, he was really excited. My stepdad, at first, actually, let me tell you, my stepdad was iffy about it at first, just because he was worried about how we were going to be able to care for a baby in this house and stuff like that. So that was just his main worry. He was just worried, basically. He wasn't like upset, he was just worried. And like for me, you know, which is totally understandable. But yeah, the rest of my family was really happy, really excited, really supportive. And yeah, and after, I ended up telling the dad, and he was happy, of course. He was really happy. His whole family is so happy, so supportive till this day. Everyone around me, I have the best support system, literally, like the best support system. I told all my friends, they were all really happy and excited for me. It took me a while to tell my friends though, because I was just really scared. Like I told 2 of my friends, and then I ended up telling the rest of my friends after. I only have like 5 friends, but yeah, I ended up telling them after. So I went, I think like a good 2 months without nobody like knowing, like nobody from school, nobody knowing, until a situation had happened. And then, you know, word gets around, so I was totally expecting it. I just didn't expect it to happen so soon. I wasn't really expecting it to be a secret forever, but I did want it to be kept a secret longer, just because it's something so personal, and like I don't really feel like anybody needs to know my business anyways. But yeah, it ended up getting out and people knew, which was fine, honestly. I ended up not caring. At first I was really upset because I just didn't want my business out there, but whatever, shit gets around, and I know that now. And yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so everyone ended up finding out, and you know, some were nice, some weren't, which is fine. But overall, it's just like whatever, because who cares? It's my business. But yeah, November 16th was my very first prenatal appointment, and at that appointment I also had my very first ultrasound. My very first ultrasound, it was like the most emotional thing ever, because it was like my first, like I knew I was pregnant obviously, but like you really don't believe it until you see it. So when I was at his ultrasound, and I saw the picture of who is now my baby boy, when I had first saw his picture, I was just so emotional. Me and my mom both started crying, because we were just like, wow, like this is a life inside of me. Like that's so crazy. Like I never expected this to happen in a million years of my life. And yeah, so I was just really emotional. It was like a very emotional experience to see him at his very first ultrasound. But yeah, so after that I just started regularly going to appointments, of course. You know, the months went by, I was doing fine, and I already started the school year as an online student. The only thing I was going to school for was the dental program that I had mentioned. So me being an online student, it just worked out completely in my favor, you know, dealing with pregnancy and stuff, especially because for the first 4 months of my pregnancy, I had the worst morning sickness, literally the worst morning sickness. I couldn't keep anything down in my stomach, so I was just never in the mood to, you know, go to school. Like, so being online was just perfect. The months went by, my pregnancy went as normal. I've had a very emotional pregnancy, just because, and I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys. I had an emotional pregnancy just because there was times where I didn't know if I made the right decision. And it has nothing to do with the baby. It's more of just like myself and how I feel, and like, you know, I just had a really emotional pregnancy because I don't know, I was just really scared. Still am a little bit scared and nervous and worried for the future. And like, you know, raising a kid's not easy. Not impossible, but not easy. And I don't know, I just feel like I have a lot of doubts about being a mother. But you know, I'm learning as I go, of course. But yeah, so my pregnancy's just been really emotional, just because I'm just scared and nervous, and I don't know. Months went by, everything was going really well, aside from the morning sickness, which by the way is like the worst thing ever. Like, it sucks not having an appetite and literally throwing up everything. I would literally throw up water. Like, I would drink water and I would throw it right back up. Like, nothing would stay down, to the point where I was losing a lot of weight, and I was getting worried because instead of gaining weight, which I thought was gonna happen, I was losing weight, and I was getting scared because, you know, I was worried for my baby's health. But I'm fine now. I'm a good healthy weight. But yeah, that was just like the beginning of my pregnancy up until 4 months. So the months went by, my pregnancy was going good as usual. I was just really emotional all the time. That was like one of the bad factors, I guess, about my pregnancy. But yeah, so now I'm at 30 weeks, so that's like 7.5 months pregnant, getting close to the finish line. And now I can officially say that I am super happy and so freaking excited for my baby to be here. Y'all don't even know. I've officially reached the point where I'm happy and content and super eager to be a mom. Like, ugh, I just makes me want to cry. I'm just so grateful and so happy that I get to experience being a mom. Like, there's nothing that I can say more than that. I'm just so happy and I love him so much that words literally can't describe. I'm just so excited. Okay, I'm so excited. And let me tell y'all, this baby is so blessed. By the way, I'm having a baby boy. And his due date's the end of June, so we're getting close. It's really nerve-wracking. But yeah, this baby boy is so freaking blessed. He's gotten so many things like donated to him from like my family members. So grateful for everything and everybody that's in my life and everything that they're doing for me and my family. So I'm just like so grateful. That's basically it. My pregnancy isn't done yet, so like, you know, I was gonna post this video once my baby was here, but I kind of wanted to post it now just because I do want to do like other pregnancy videos, like updates and stuff. I feel like that'd be interesting. Yeah, that's basically my 17 and pregnant story time. So to conclude this video, I just wanted to say that if you are a teen mom, or if you know a teen mom that's going through the same thing, just know that you're not alone, that it's not the end of the world, that things get better. There's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm right here to relate with you, sending all my love and positive vibes. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below giving me feedback for this video. That would be very much appreciated. Just comment down below what you thought of this video, or any questions you have, because I feel like, I don't know, I'd have a lot of questions. So yeah, comment down a question if you have one. And also, comment down below videos you want to see in the future. I do want to do other videos in the future. Like, I honestly don't know. Just comment down below what you'd be interested to see. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
Lately I've been missing you, but I know everything's gonna be alright. Thoughts of me kissing you, that would all lead up to the times we'd fight. Wanna know